Welcome to Curriculum Night, parents. We're so glad that you're joining us this evening. My name is Heidi Paul, and I am the principal here at Bell Elementary School, and I'm very excited to have been chosen to be at this school in the short time that I've been here, and I've had a chance to get to know the staff and the parents and students. I just pinch myself every day for being so lucky to be at such a great school. I really do believe the staff here are some of the hardest working teachers that I have met. Some of the parents that I have met are some of the most caring and supportive parents, and our students are just gems, and I am just so excited to be here. I wanted to talk to you about a couple things this evening for a short time. Being new has given me the opportunity to have some fresh eyes and perspective on some systems that have been in place over the last couple of years, and so I'm slowly working to help support students and parents and teachers in making changes so that way kids go about their day in an effective and meaningful way. One of the things that I have worked to change when it comes to student learning, our staff has begun a focus that's very intentional on the idea that every student matters. And what that looks like is really just simply as it sounds. Our staff has come together over the course of time in August and the beginning of September and begun a new process of joining together in teams and continuing on some of the work that they've done in the past as well. But in joining with teams, looking at this idea of every student really matters and identifying learning goals and looking at assessments in order to help create plans that are effective for each kid. We'll be focusing on 4 questions throughout the year. Staff members look to do this work. Number 1, what is it we want kids to learn in each grade level? Number 2, how will we know if kids have actually learned this? Number 3, what do we do if kids aren't learning the material? And number 4, what do we do for kids who already know the material? So you'll notice our teachers working together really hard in order to support students in their learning, and that every kid really does matter. Also, you'll notice that one of the things that we'll be looking at is data and analysis of data. So collecting actual work from students, teachers will be sitting down and having conversations. The MSP scores, which will come out soon if you haven't already received them, is just one method that we're able to look at student learning. And so with those 4 goals in mind, we hope to continue to improve student data, but also just for the general ed student, improve their overall learning experience, and then ultimately have it reflected in their assessment scores. Another focus that I've worked to help our students and staff and parents understand is the priority and idea that safety is really the number 1 concern and priority in our building. And when I say safety, I mean the mental, emotional, and physical safety of students. When it comes to physical safety, as I came and experienced our wonderful new building and the chaos that we're in right now with the construction project, I noticed some changes that we needed to make right away in order for our students and for our staff and parents to be safe. You may have noticed recently that speed bumps have been placed in order to slow cars down, that cones have been placed around certain driving paths as students walk to recess. And just recently, we have also had a successful moment as we brought our bus through for the first time in the afternoon in order for students to board the bus in a much safer manner instead of walking down 2 streets to the corner to board the bus. You'll also notice there's been an intentional push to open up parking in the lower loop of the school, so that way visitors and parents have a place to park that's easy, and all staff is parking above. So we've cut down any traffic that can go from the lower loop to the upper loop during the school day in order for students to be more safe. You'll also notice some exciting things that have occurred. We, in August, had some volunteers come in and spend wonderful amounts of time, sacrificing their time on a weekend to improve our school. So you'll notice some fun quotes for students as they walk up the path, and our lovely community garden that now sits by the kindergarten wing. And our school will be working together in some unified goals and how we'll be using the community garden space. So overall, physically, students can walk about the campus in a safe way. Another important focus is the emotional and mental safety of students. And when that comes into play, we're thinking about the idea that a student can't learn well or learn their best if there are concerns and anxieties in their mind about mental and emotional safety. For example, if they're feeling picked on, if they're feeling like they're being treated meanly by their peers, or in some situations even bullying situations that may or may not be occurring, those are very important to us. I've worked with staff to make a clear discipline procedure and investigation process when that occurs, and I ask you to join with me in that anytime there is any concern that comes home from school about the treatment of your child and what's happening in the playground, at recess, or in the classrooms, I ask that you push that information forward immediately to the teacher or ultimately to me as well. And because safety of our students mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially is so important to us, an investigation process will begin immediately. I know some of you are concerned about, well, I don't know if I should bring this forward or not. I actually ask that any concern that you may have or any information to bring it forward. If I investigate it and it's nothing, then that's all right. But if I investigate it and it's something that needs to be looked into, then I feel so thankful that that information is brought forward to me so our kids can feel safe mentally and emotionally here in the school building. When we talk about overall wellness of our students, one other change that will be occurring this year is a push to be healthier physically as a school body, and that really is a goal overall for students and staff. So while we'll be working on academic progress this year and improving student progress, we'll also be working on physical achievement and progress. And so you'll notice that there'll be some conversations teachers will be having and the school as a whole will be having about how to be healthy and well. One of the areas that I asked for you to partner with us in is when we celebrate birthdays and when we bring snacks into the classroom. We all love sweets and treats. I definitely am one who loves those as well, but when each of the children in a classroom are bringing in a sweet treat, it adds up pretty quickly in caloric consumption and just overall impacts the learning environment of kids when they have a lot of sugar. So some important things that I would encourage you to remember is portion size. Having a small little amount of something is better than nothing at all. And I actually find as I walk around the school day, some kids don't even finish their entire cookie or their entire cupcake or whatever is being brought in. Another thing I ask as we slowly learn more about this is really to think about some alternatives to typical sweets. So things like fruit or veggies, and we can actually make them in fun ways so they feel exciting and enjoyable to kids too. You'll notice on our website we'll actually be, within the month of October, adding some alternatives for nutrition and for the treats we bring into our classroom to give you some fun ideas as well. As we continue to go through the year, another piece that is important for me to communicate with you and for all of our staff to understand is the importance of clear communication to families, to students, and to staff members. So we're going to be working on some important goals here about how to do that. The district has just recently adopted a program called Haiku, which is a web-based process and project that teachers will slowly be learning how to use, and ultimately within the next several months, we're not sure of the actual date, parents will have access and a way to communicate by seeing student calendars, classroom calendars, and to also be privy to information of important events coming up. Also, it's important, clear communication is important as a whole school building, and so you'll notice that there'll be some changes to our website by the month of October. We want to be updating you more regularly and have easy access to information when necessary. It's also important to me that parents feel comfortable to communicate concerns or frustrations with the teacher and also with me as the principal in the school building. So I welcome conversations. If you come in and you make an appointment with my office staff, then I can have a concentrated time and sit down with you. And that communication will also go the other way as well. I'm encouraging my staff in continuing the great practices that they have of communicating with parents when they have a concern, when there's potentially a problem within the classroom, so that way you don't feel surprised about any information that's given. When we think about our overall goals academically and the changes that we're slowly making as a school and physically, and we think about our goals for fitness, the walkathon is a fun part of that, which is coming this October 11th. Tomorrow, on Thursday, will actually be the kickoff day for our walkathon, and so you'll notice that students will be carrying their packets home. One of the things I wanted to express to you is really my excitement about the fact that Bell Elementary School does a walkathon, because it is the one time a year where we really push to raise financial funds for our school alongside the PTSA, and it helps also to echo our goals for health and fitness. So you'll notice that your son or daughter will be setting 2 goals related to the walkathon: their participation in the walkathon, and that might look differently for each student. Maybe their participation is they want to set a goal of bringing in a quarter, or maybe they're going to go out and find sponsors to help sponsor them during the walkathon event. And then they'll also be setting a fitness goal. That might look different for each individual student. Maybe they're going to set a goal of how many laps they're going to walk. Maybe they're going to set a goal of an overall time that they're going to walk. So you'll be noticing those conversations coming home, and we ask that you come alongside us and then maybe help those conversations as well. When it comes to the walkathon, our big partner in the walkathon is the PTSA. And the PTSA, as many of you know, is a very important association that helps our school run. For those of you who don't know very much about the PTSA, it really is a program that comes alongside a school system and supports the school financially and organizationally in ways the school district can't. So when our district funds run out, PTSAs are pretty critical in helping support a school. For such things as enrichment opportunities, clubs, we have a myriad of awesome clubs here at Bell Elementary School. Events that the community can experience, like the back to school picnic, for those of you who joined us and saw the fun ways that we could come together as a community. And so those are just some of the ways that the PTSA, along with the walkathon, partners with the school and helps support it. If you're interested, I actually have become a member myself, and some of my staff members. You'll find out more information by the office. There is a membership poster for you there, and also some information. And basic membership is just $12 to help be involved in some of those great events and opportunities around the school. To close, as we work to support and help kids to learn and grow, we see our work here as a staff as very important and critical work, especially during these elementary school years. And we also see the importance of our relationship working with you as parents. I really see it really in a sense as a legs on a table, that if you were to think about parents being one leg, the teacher another leg, the school body another leg, and then anyone else involved, we're really working together in that tripod of legs to support the student. And so we look forward to working alongside you and having open and clear communication. And with that being said, you'll notice, as I mentioned before, the change to the websites. We look for your involvement. You'll notice some volunteer opportunities that will be available to you within the month of October in areas like our recess and playground area, the library, and the corral area after school. Our current construction project certainly complicates some of our transportation and the way in which kids move around, so we would welcome any extra help and opportunities for parents to come and help us serve. You'll also notice opportunities to serve within your child's classroom, and we are excited whenever we see parents here in our school. The very last thing that I want to tell you about, I've saved for last because I'm so excited about it, and those of you who've been in the school long enough, you know how exciting it is. The construction process has begun in full force, and I want to communicate with you the exciting news that by this December, our gym will be completed, and when students return from the winter break in January, we'll actually have our first kickoff assembly, and we'll be able to begin using that space. So those are some exciting things to come. I hope you enjoy your evening here tonight as you get to know your child's teacher a little bit better, and I'm sure you'll learn, as I already have, how wonderful and dedicated and supported our staff here is at Bell Elementary School. Thank you very much.